Hi, I'm Rhonda Bosler with Hallmark Business Connections. I have the great pleasure today to bring Jeannie Walters to our blog. I'm very excited. She's a writer, speaker, author, and consultant. And I'm going to let Jeannie tell you a little bit about the work that she does so that we can have a great conversation about marketing and customer experience.
Thanks, Rhonda. I'm Jeannie Walters. I have a consultancy called 360 Connects where we specialize in customer experience investigation. So the work we do is really about a human evaluation of the customer experience. And I've been writing and training and speaking about that for almost 20 years now.
So Jeannie and I got to know each other through the CXPA, the Customer Experience Professionals Association. We've always enjoyed talking to each other at conferences about the intersection of marketing and customer experience, so we thought we'd bring that to you today. So Jeannie, I think I'd just kick it off with how you're seeing those two disciplines interconnecting, and specifically for a lot of our companies where marketing's taking the lead also on customer experience. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing in your consulting work?
Sure. Well, I think right now we're seeing a lot of interesting things around customer experience in general, that people are kind of getting that this is something we need to care about. And in some situations, there isn't really somebody assigned to it. It's not like there's a leader necessarily who has this as their role. That's certainly out there, but not everywhere. And so what I'm seeing is the leaders in marketing are being told, guess what, you're in charge of customer experience. And they're not really necessarily told much else about what that means. So they're using their skills as marketers and really looking at what drives people, what motivates customers, how can we meet those expectations, and turning that into really a journey from before somebody becomes a customer, when they're in marketing, all the way through to when they leave you or when they become, hopefully, raving fans for life, which is what we're all looking for.
Right. So I always think as a marketer too, we always want to represent the customer, and I'll often hear those of us in the marketing discipline say, you know, we represent the customer often. Is there any intersection? So customer journey mapping, I know that is typically a customer experience discipline, but how are marketers? Are they embracing that? Because I think there's so much to be learned and to act upon by using that exercise. So do you see those intersecting?
Totally, and I'm so excited about it because for years, marketers have been talking about the buyer's journey. They've been talking about what happens to people before they become a customer and how can we meet those needs and how can we change what we're doing to make sure we're improving the experience for them. But often that journey map that we are envisioning, that they're working on, it falls off when they become a customer. And of course, the work we do is really focused on what happens to the customer, what's the entire end-to-end journey. So if you take that mentality and the tool of the buyer's map and really apply it across the board and create a full customer journey map, that's where real magic can happen. That's where you can really understand and break down those silos of what's happening to customers so that you can improve the experience for them from before they become a customer all the way through.
So here's one of those questions that I love to ask people. You know, a lot of organizations don't have a chief customer officer. And for a while, I felt like it was the big thing. If you didn't have a chief customer officer, you weren't really focused on the customer. Where do you see companies today in that mix of, do you need one? Do you not need one? Can it just be assigned to other roles? How do you see that playing out today?
I think, ironically, it's kind of like what happened in marketing about 2 decades ago, because there was a time where not every company had a CMO, right? They didn't have somebody in charge of marketing. And now we've got these elaborate and robust teams and people very specialized. And I think that is happening with customer experience, where some folks are saying we need a chief customer officer or chief experience officer, and then they build teams with customer insights, research, innovation, and design of customer experience. So that's all happening. In some places, that's kind of merging into one area. And so you have people with these different disciplines and these different backgrounds that actually help the experience end to end. So I think we're going to see a lot of shifts around that. I don't think we've even landed on, is it chief customer officer? Is it chief experience officer?
Yeah.
And do they really have a seat at the C-suite? And that's the next question, is how can they make change if they're not really invited up to that level with everybody else? And I think we're all struggling with that a little bit right now.
So bring us home. Your best advice for a marketer who just got the word that they now need to make sure whatever they're doing is focused on the customer or given a goal around customer experience. What's your best advice for marketers using the customer experience as a platform?
I would say, first of all, know what your definition of success is. What does that look like? What what does it mean to be in charge of customer experience? Are you just tracking metrics, or are you really looking to improve the experience? And the next thing I would say, once you have those goals, make friends. Make sure that you're
Lots of
reaching
them.
out to people throughout your organization who have an influence on that. Your product development teams, your sales teams, your invoicing is a customer touch point. So make sure that you understand the journey way beyond marketing and how it all comes back. They're going to appreciate your proactive nature and the creativity that marketing brings as well. I think that will be appreciated.
Jeannie, thank you for being here at Hallmark today. It's been a delight to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you'd like to get more great customer experience content, you can find Jeannie's blog at cxcontent.com, or you can go to Hallmark Business Connections and search customer engagement.